Morning, love. Oh, morning, Elsie.
It's worrying me sick, this election.
This what?
The general election. Have you had any of the love letters? Leaflets.
Oh, aye. I think so. I think I chucked them on fire back.
Oh, I'm blowed if I know which of the three to vote for. They all look so gorgeous. And all married, I notice. You know, I don't know why they make such a song and dance about all that. It puts me right off. Now, Amos Burke.
You what?
Well, if they put him up for Parliament, he'd get in and walk it round here.
Oh, aye. Well, I better get breakfast cracking.
What's up?
Why?
You seem in a bit of a hurry to get rid of me.
Oh, I just don't want you to miss your bus, that's all.
You've not been sleeping well, have you? You're bloodshot.
Well, there's none of us looks so tempting this time at morning, do we?
Well, thank you very much. That means I won't get off with the bus guard. I'm sorry to say. Good morning.
Lucille!
What?
Did you get your apple off the sideboard?
Yeah, it's in my satchel.
And your dinner money?
Yeah, I've got it.
Right, love, off you go then.
Blooming performance, it's all the same when he sees me.
Where's Mrs. Walker?
9:15, tea and toasting it in bed. Is your Trevor in?
No, he's gone... no, he's out just now.
Well, will you tell him I want my ballpoint back?
What ballpoint?
The one he borrowed, it's a week now. Tell him less of his cadging in future. That was sentimental value. It were a birthday present for Conceptum.
All right, I'll tell him. When I see him.
Colour of my tongue. Benghazi in July. There's me fags. Hey, Hilda! You see me fags, love?
Hey? Oh, there's some dimps in me Toby jug there.
All right. Hey, you were up early this morning, weren't you? I turned over when Crabtree's out I went and had the bed to myself. I thought you were going off with cold fella.
Oh, I couldn't sleep, so I thought I might as well get up.
Aye, but don't worry, Trevor. I couldn't get off myself. It was about 3 o'clock, I think.
It was 1:20.
Oh.
Well, it was only you and me, I hope. And I didn't shut my eyes till blooming near daylight. If you weren't sleeping, what the heck were you snoring for? Oh, Stan, what are we gonna do?
Well, I can't build his ear all for him, can I? He's in London.
All that money. Pounds. Everybody'll have to be told.
Aye.
All them folk. Oh, I could wring his neck for him. I don't know who he takes after, I don't really.
That'll be Bobby's.
Well, if it is, they're not coming in here. The house is a blooming tip.
Oh, you're all right, love. You can see us now, Muck. You're not proud, are you, Len?
What's up, Len?
I'm all right. Well, aren't you going to sit down or something? You've got to...
You can quit playing the silly beggars, mate. I know who it was.
No, who was?
And if I know, it's a fair bet that you two know now.
What are you talking about?
The kid with the itchy fingers. The phantom flaming tea leaf. Of course, nicking stuff from Florrie's and the Rovers was the daft trick. I was just telegraphing it.
Ah, well, they were all daft tricks, lad.
There's only one person it can be after that. And a flipping good hiding's far too good for her.
Her?
Now, don't come the innocent with me. I'm not in the mood. What you doing now? Papering her walls with pound notes?
Never be a policeman, Len. You'd starve to death.
It's not Irma, Len. It was our Trevor.
You what?
Aye. Cleverer than all of us. So he can't take after me, that's definite.
Now, that's enough, Stan. And you needn't look at me.
Oh, just a minute, Mr. Tick. I got another idea.
Oh, no. Not another one. Be fair.
You can put that down while I try and picture it.
Oh, thank you, Mum.
What if I put my sideboard down that side, brought my couch from there, and then I'd have a hole in that corner?
Is that what you like?
Yes, I think so.
Right.
Oh, and unless I brought the chair out of that corner and left my sideboard where it is.
Oh, please, Mrs. Caldwell, if you could just see a way to make up your mind.
Now, don't natter me, Mr. Tickler. I'm trying to study.
Well, I leave the sideboard where it is, then.
You can do, for the minute.
Look, if I might ask a question, what is the effect you were trying to create?
I want an hole in the corner.
A hole. A hole?
Yes, please.
Like a sort of a tunnel into next door. That sort of effect.
Oh, no, not through the wall. Just a space.
What for?
To put something in.
I know, but that's what I'm asking you, darling. What do you want to put in?
A surprise.
Oh, thank you very much.
Blimey, are you two still at it?
He's no good to man the beast, is he, love?
Oh, well, he's doing his best, I think, Charlie, but he hasn't much patience. Oh, hello, Mrs. Lindley.
Hello. Morning, Tickler.
Lawrence, you ought to be in the National Health. It's a tonic to see you. A simple good morning and a man feels great.
Now, less of the soft soap. Bringing me round at this time in the morning. I've got a shop to see to, you know.
Excuse me.
Well, come on, love. What is it? I'm busy.
Florence, it's the chance of a lifetime. You could make yourself a small fortune.
What is it?
Ogden the Terrible.
What?
Stanley.
Well, what about him?
Well, now, have you ever stopped for 1 minute to think of the money that boy'll be churning out when he starts wrestling?
Oh, well, lucky for him.
And you.
Why me?
Because you'll have a share in him. It's the return on your investments.
Now, look, love, will you stop talking in riddles? I've not come to yet.
He wants to borrow some brass.
What for?
For Stan to lay out his gear. There's vest and shorts and tracksuit and training stuff.
And you'll get it all back with interest from his winnings.
It's an investment. I've risked £5,000.
And I'm risking a shop full of customers. You'll have to come and talk to me again.
I'll come with you now.
Hey, we are going out tonight, are we?
I'll murder the fella that tries to stop us.
Good, because I put a traveller off. He wanted to come at 6 o'clock. I'll see you later, Mrs. Caldwell.
Right, ta-ra, love.
Right, now, where did you want this one to go, love? I've forgotten.
Oh, to tell you the truth, I have too.
Hey, Mrs. Crowell, there's a fella here to see you.
Oh, ask him to come through, love. It'll be the insurance man. You know, I think it was better the way we had it.
Oh, good morning. Mrs. Caldwell.
Oh, is the other gentleman on holiday?
I'm not collecting insurance, Mrs. Caldwell. I'm canvassing on behalf of the Labour Party.
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm calling at all the houses in the neighbourhood. I wondered if I might include your name as a Labour voter in the election.
Well, I haven't really thought.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me in, by the way. Oh, thank you so much. If you've any questions on aspects of our policy, please fire away, Mrs. Caldwell. What would you like to discuss first? Foreign affairs?
Never.
It's true. They told Len Fairclough this morning. Came straight out with it.
And young Trevor's gone chasing off to London?
Last night. And our money with him.
Hey, Jack, have you heard the news? We're off to Bobby shop. Now listen to this.
We know it is. He's been pinching.
Now, just a minute, love. I'm telling him. Now, prepare yourself for the shock, Jack. You'll never get over it. Guess who it is?
Trevor Ogden.
Who told you?
Florrie Lindley. Len just told her.
Well, what do you think we should do about it, Mr. Walker?
Well, we can stop talking about bobby shops for a start.
Well, why should we? That's what they're there for. We pay us rates.
Hey, Albert. How much stuff did you knock off as a lad, eh?
Well, I never went round pinching brass.
No, I'm not. But I bet you nicked a lot of other stuff. I know I did.
Well, what are we supposed to do? Pat him on the head and tell him to go out and play?
Well, I'm blooming sure we're not going to get him sent to Borstal. We can go and see his mum and dad. After all, he's their responsibility.
Hello,
Mrs. Caldwell.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This lady you mentioned is interested in politics, you say?
Oh, well, she said if any of you fellas come along, she wanted to have a talk with you.
Oh, I see. Perhaps she might display one of our posters in her window.
Oh, I had 3 in mine last time.
Really?
Aye, one for your lot, one for Liberals and one for Conservatives. Oh, hello, Ina. This is Mr. Unns. He's been sent by Mr. Harold Wilson.
Well, not exactly, Mrs. Sharples. I'm canvassing on behalf of the Labour Party.
Oh, aye. You don't sound Labour, do you?
I beg your pardon?
Well, you didn't get your skull in pulling pit ponies, did you now?
Well, no. Actually, my father was a collier. I'm Winchester and London School of Economics.
Aye. And I'll bet Beatrice Webb's turning in her grave.
Can I put you down as a Labour voter, Mrs. Sharples?
Will you send a car to fetch me?
Certainly.
Right, well, come back at 8 o'clock tonight and we'll have a little natter about it.
Little natter.
Listen, lad. The government can make wars without me. They can put prices up without me. The only thing they can't do without me is have me vote. This is the nearest thing I get to running the country and I'm going to make the most of it. I'll see you at 8 o'clock.
Hey, Stan, I think they're going to lynch us.
How do you mean?
They were all standing outside Florrie Lindley's looking at me.
Well, who's all?
All straight.
What were they doing?
Looking.
Well, I've been looking at you ever since I saw the okey-cokey in the winter gardens, but I haven't lynched you, have I? I might have belted your ear off a few times, too.
Stan, will you listen? They've got the needle. There you are, that's them now. Lynching party.
Well, let's hope they brought their own rope.
Oh, Stanley. Not here. I better go. You need your health and strength. You're the breadwinner. Hi, you better come in. Stan, look. We got some visitors.
Well, look, you brought your own tea and sugar, because we've got notes.
We've not come camping, Mr. Ogden.
Look, there's no need for bawling and shouting. Look, Hilda, all we want to know
We
is...
know about your Trevor.
And we want to know what you're going to do about it. It's nothing personal, like. I mean, it's not really you, it's your Trevor, really, isn't it?
Well, with a deputation, you see, and...
Look, can we get our money back? Do you know where he is?
Oh, we know it's in London, but don't know where. You see, that's where we're snookered, love.
Aye. We're very sorry about what's happened, like. I mean, he's never gone around taking things...
Stealing's the word, Mrs. Ogden, and whether he's done it before or not, he's done it now.
Now, look, now, there's no call to go
There's
back...
every call. He's stolen money from nearly everybody in the street.
Oh, he's a bad lad, he is.
Well, what do you suggest we do then, Mr. Ogden? Go to the police?
Now, hold your sweat, the lot of you. The police don't enter into it. Stan, is there any chance of having the money refunded?
Hilda, love, we don't mind waiting. It's just if we
Oh,
could...
well, if you don't mind waiting...
Eh?
Well, just a week or two, like.
Hey, well, there's no guarantee on football pools, love.
You'll have it all back, every penny. My Stan will see to that.
Well, that's what we want to know, then, isn't it? Oh, so do I. Where am I going to get all this from?
Your wrestling money.
You what?
His wages from his wrestling.
What if he loses?
I better hadn't, had I?
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon. What are you selling?
Me? I'm not selling nothing.
Don't act so harmless, lad. If you call me madam, you must be flogging something. What is it?
Well, I am in a way, I suppose. I'm here on behalf of the Conservative candidate for this constituency.
All right.
And I was wondering if I might put your name down as a prospective Conservative vote in the election.
I see. Who else have you got from round here?
Oh, I'm afraid I'm not really allowed to divulge that, Miss Sharples.
Mrs.
Oh, sorry. Mrs. One's vote is private, you know.
Well, you can keep your nose out of mine then, can't you? Conservatives, eh? You don't look the part.
In what way, like?
Well, I couldn't imagine you shooting grouse in baggy pants on your country estate, right?
No, well, we don't on Victoria Street.
Victoria Street?
I'm born and bred.
Come, the world's upside down, isn't it? Will you send a car to take me to voting?
Oh, yes, we do that.
Well, I'll tell you what then. Come back tonight, we'll have a little chin wag like. And we can see what you and Lord Hume have got in mind, eh? 8 o'clock.
But I don't quite
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
They do work hard, don't they? We're doing Maudsley Street when I went me shopping.
No, I'll be working hard tonight.
Can I come in, Nina?
I'll say you can. You've got a bit of explaining to do, haven't you?
Have I?
Haven't you?
Well, I don't know. What about?
You'll see inside.
Well, I've only come for a cup of tea and a piece of your seed cake.
All right, well, you can make your full confession while we're waiting for the kettle to boil.
Oh, but what have I done?
In.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Barlow.
Never mind, Mrs. Barlow, inside.
Hey, don't we let on the mail?
Oh,
How's school?
all right.
What have you learnt today, then?
Oh, no, special usual stuff, you know.
Like what, for instance?
It's like 3rd degree, isn't it? You're as bad as my dad when you get going.
Well, I promised him I'd keep an eye on you, didn't I? And sort things out if anything's worrying you.
Well, there's not. We learnt a load of daft geography and stupid history, so we're laughing, aren't we?
What's wrong, love?
Nothing.
Oh, there is, isn't there? You're just not telling. Come on, what is it?
There's nothing to tell.
Hello, love. Hello, pal. What's up? What's up? Oh, I know a fella started this way. Stood at middle of Deansgate and suddenly went funny. He was a nice fellow.
Hey?
Ah, he used to be a United supporter. They said it was that what sent him funny, but it weren't. He was shell-shocked, delayed.
Sorry, love, what were you saying? I was listening.
That bomb didn't go off, and you weren't there any road, so can't be shell-shocked with you.
Do you know there's something wrong with that kid?
Who, Lucille?
Yeah.
Well, she's growing up, that's all. She'll be a young woman soon. My gum, it makes you feel your age, doesn't it?
No, I know, Lucille. There's definitely something.
Right. You shall have your piece of cake when you've done your explaining. That way, you won't be talking with your mouth full.
I've nothing to say, though, Ina.
According to my sources of information, you swapped your furniture around this morning.
Yes, well, I wanted the extra room.
What for?
It's a surprise.
It never is. I can see through that window, you know. A wash leather and elbow grease, that's all I need.
Oh, Ina, you didn't see it come.
I did know. Now then, what's a ginger-headed lad with his pants at half-mast doing carrying a 23-inch television into your house?
It's not 23, it's 19.
Well, they don't give them away for now, neither.
Well, it's only on weekly.
On tick.
Well, they call it rental.
That's right. On tick. Same thing. Where's the brass coming from?
Well, it's for the winter evenings. It'll be company for me.
I said, where's the brass coming from?
And it's for Tickler, so we can see the wrestling. He is a lodger. He's entitled to home comforts.
Minnie Caldwell.
Yes, Ina.
I shall ask you once more where the money is coming from. And if I don't get a straight answer, you get no seed cake. Your mouth can water all night. I'll send it to Buckingham Palace for the Duke of Kent's birthday. Now then, I'm all ears.
Tell me he's lazy, tell me he's slow, tell me I'm crazy, maybe I know. Can't tell, loving that man of mine. Stan! Stan!
Yes, love, yes, love.
We'll have to get this washing line mended, you know. I've only to put a blanket on and it has the hook out the wall.
Ah, well, I'm cleaning your cupboards now, you know.
Oh, I don't mean now, love. Not when you're busy. It'll do later in week. Can't have you working yourself to a frazzle.
All right, on your feet, that man there.
Pull in, Paul, Ogdens, sir. You flipping nit. You're fighting the life out of me.
Right, stand easy.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Oh, it takes it out of me, does this training of yours.
Who's training?
Yours, and we'll have that fag out for the kick-off.
Ah, yes, smoking's not allowed, you see.
Where'd you say that?
In the training schedule. Come on, Stan. You can get changed now. There's your tracksuit.
Now?
You're better ad, lad. Oh, lumping that thing over. Lad like me, flower of me youth.
Oh, well, listen, I've promised to give the missus a hand fixing the line up outside in the backyard.
Stanley, being a wrestler is rather like being a doctor or a poet. You have to be dedicated. And that means humping this thing up, you see. Up. Well, up and down. Come on, strip off.
Oh, well, look, I haven't had my afternoon cup of tea yet. I'm not fit for much without the afternoon
You'll be abstaining from that from now on, I believe.
Am I?
Yeah, and fags and chips. I'll make a wrestler of you yet, Stan. I'd be failing in my duty if I didn't.
You see, it develops character, does suffering.
Hey, come on, Charlie, get cracking.
Hey, no, it's him, not me. I'm just an innocent bystander, sitter.
Look, you're helping me clear a bit of room here. The lad wants plenty of space to walk in.
Oh.
That's a good boy. I'll go outside and get the rest of the stuff in off the pavement.
Right.
Here, what's the game?
My sentiments exactly, love.
You've every reason to be proud, Mrs. Ogden. Behind every great man...
Just what do you think you're doing?
Training.
Not in my living room, you're not.
Eh?
So you can just pack up your rubbish and find alternative accommodation, can't you?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Well, where, though?
In middle of Cart Road, for all I care. You never know. Happen somebody'll take pity on you, if there's anyone that soft.
Oh, I don't think so, Mr. Murphy. The mission hall's a place of worship, not a gymnasium.
What do you say, Mrs. Sharples? He won't be in anybody's way. I mean, he's hardly likely to start doing press-ups in the middle of your Sunday morning devotionals now, is he?
I'm afraid it's something to do with Mrs. Sharples, Mr. Murphy. These premises are under the jurisdiction of the Glad Tidings Committee.
To whom I raise my hat, madame.
Well, that's why I'm here doing my monthly check. It's their orders.
See that I don't make off with an harmonium under my arm. Just what are you after, lad?
Well, it's just somewhere for Ogden the Terrible to train every day with a roof over his head.
I see.
Mr. Murphy, it really is out of the question. I mean, those things are so heavy and cumbersome. You might damage the appointments. I mean, the floorboards or the chairs. I don't mean out of hooliganism, but with 5 chairs to replace already from wear and tear. The committee isn't Rothschild, you know.
How much are you prepared to pay?
Pay?
How much? If Stan Ogden's going to run his puppy fat off in our hall, what are we going to make out of it?
Mrs. Sharples, I don't...
Well, it's the first time I've heard an Irishman stuck for words.
Well, a percentage of his earnings, let's say.
Yes, let's.
Mrs. Sharples, we've absolutely no right to do this.
Well, 20%.
5.
15.
10.
You're on. There you are. 2 bob in the pound, and that's your new chair's paid for. And then they wonder why the exports to the country are going to pot.
Mrs. Sharples, I haven't quite concluded my inventory yet.
Well, you should come at a more respectable time. Look, I've got important things to do. I've left my frilly nothings instinct. Why can't you make up your mind?
Well, how about it then?
Well, yes, I suppose, in view of the prevailing circumstances.
That woman has lost her way, you know. If she'd gone in the fight game, she'd be a second Jack Solomons. Right then, Mr. Ogden can start tonight, can he?
He won't do anything rough, will he?
Rough? Oh, I'm afraid you're confusing the science with something else. No. Wrestling is more of an educated sport. Masculine yet dignified.
Well, I wouldn't say dignified, Mr. Murphy. I've never actually witnessed an actual performance. Of course, I usually switch over when it comes on television.
Ah, there you are. You see, you've missed all the dignity.
But, well, some of the positions they get in. I mean, I'm quite broad-minded, but I should think some ladies might find it just a little bit embarrassing.
Ah, pure skill, Miss Nugent. Nothing else.
And then those tight little pantaloons. I mean, it shows all their abdomen.
Ah, well, there I hold my hand up. There are abdomens and abdomens, especially in wrestling. A vast variety of abdomen.
Honestly, talk about the invisible man. I go to Mrs. Caldwell, she says, try Mrs. Ogden. I go to Mrs. Ogden, she says, you might be anywhere. I thought you were calling for me.
And right on my way I was, too. Delayed only by the pressure of business commitments and the charming conversation of this delightful lady, whom I am flattered to call a friend.
How are you?
Good night, Miss Nugent, and thank you. Good night. I should watch next time, it's all.
Just a minute. Wonderful thing, human nature. You only to get the kettle boiling, you've got a house full. Oh.
Good evening, Mrs. Sharples. How are you?
Better middling, lad. Come inside. You're all right there. Sit you down. I've just made a brew.
Well, thank you very much. Spot on 8. I'm afraid I'll only be able to spare an hour, Mrs. Sharples. We've a campaign meeting at 9.
Oh, that's all right. We'll just let that stand for a little while. You take milk and sugar, do you?
2, please, yes. Incidentally, an interesting point George Brown raised the other day. I don't know if you read his Newcastle speech about the new technological age that Britain has...
Hang on a minute.
Evening, madam.
Oh.
Fred Marsh reporting as per your request.
That's right. Come on in.
Do you know, looking down this street, and the whole neighbourhood really, I do believe Sir Keith Joseph was right.
Yes.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening.
I was invited.
So was I.
Just a minute, gentlemen.
Oh, good evening, Mrs. Sharples. You did say 8, didn't you? I'm not late, am I?
You're right on time, lass. Could be ways in. In case you haven't met...
No.
Miss Stafford's from the Liberal Agent's office.
How do you do?
Sit yourselves down. Make yourselves comfortable.
Mrs.
Mrs.
Sharples,
Sharples,
It's all
I don't
right.
know.
There's tea in the pot. Sit down. Sit down there, love. Sit. I'll Stay in the Rovers till you've finished.
Aren't you staying?
No, you don't need me. You can argue and insult one another and set the world to rights between the three of you.
Mrs. Sharple, do it.
And the first one to put £2 on the old age pension's got my vote. Good night.